95.5 WFMS. Good morning. It's Jim, Deb, and Kevin getting all set for you Tuesday morning.
It's Tuesday. I brought a jacket in for the second day in a row.
Did you?
Yeah.
What do you mean you brought it in? Why don't you wear
I
it?
wore it in. I wore it in, yeah.
It's that time of year where you wear it in and then you carry it home.
Or leave it here.
Or leave it here. The kids used to do that, has 6 or 7 coats.
I did one time. I had like a sweater, a jacket, and a winter coat here.
I had to clean out my locker. I had like half my jacket wardrobe in the locker. My mom was like, bring your stuff home.
That's right. It's not a locker anymore. It's a closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Anyway, you may need it this morning. It's a little cool. 52 degrees right now. At 95.5 WFMS. 95.5 WFMS. Good morning. You know what? We are a week away.
I know. I woke up this morning and thought, we're less than do you count today or not?
Yes.
Yeah, a week away from today.
Okay, yeah, a week away from
Today's just
today.
starting.
Yeah.
The Best One of Indy inaugural Jim Denny Invitational Golf Tournament.
Yep.
I'm excited.
I'm looking forward to that. Next week at this time, we'll be broadcasting from the Gray Eagle Golf Club in Fishers. And we still invite you. Still got some openings if you'd like to give it a try.
Yeah, I got the assignment. You guys had me at the driving range catching the balls. I don't understand that. I didn't know there was a position for that.
Well, there is now.
Okay.
Right. We'll hit away and you catch them. Huh? That's also, we got food and drink included in that, too, and it all goes to help Taffy's Touch Senior Dog Rescue. Try to help those little dogs. You can get a foursome together if you want or a single, but do hurry because we are going to run out of space here.
Yeah.
I had several friends of mine, bluegrass buddies, actually called and said,
really?
hey, we're going to be there. So,
Well, that'll be fun.
Yeah, they don't use clubs. They use banjos.
Oh, well, hey, whatever it takes.
And you don't have to know how to play.
No,
you really don't. You can just get 3 of your favorite friends together and show up, and maybe you're just there for the auction items.
Have a good
That's
time.
fine.
A lot of good stuff, too, on the auction block there, too. Go to WFMS.com. That's where you get all the details.
622 with Jim, Deb, and Kevin on 95.5 WFMS. Phil Vassar wrote that song, and Faith Hill, Tim's wife, didn't want him to record it because she said it made him sound old. My next 30 years. Of course, it was a big hit, made a lot of money on it, and he was okay. She was okay with it then.
She's like, I'm good with it now.
Exactly. So, breakfast time,
Yes? Breakfast time?
but it's not lunch.
Well, no, it's not lunch and not dinner. If you eat somewhere in the middle, like 3 p.m., it's
What is
apparently called Lenner.
Okay.
Had you heard of that?
Well, I've heard of Brenner, where you have breakfast for dinner.
For dinner, yeah.
That's Brenner. So
Well,
I guess lunch for dinner would be Lenner.
I got invited to a birthday dinner, which I would consider like any time. 4 o'clock's early for dinner.
Yeah.
I eat at 7:30.
Right,
But I
right.
got invited to this birthday dinner. The person hosting it had a flight to Canada, and she said, "I want to do it on the." Actually, we had a mutual friend on the actual mutual friend's birthday. So it was last Thursday, and she wanted to do it at 3 o'clock.
3 o'clock in the afternoon.
She had to be at the airport. She had to leave for the airport at 4:30. So she said, unfortunately, I have to do it earlier. I know it's an early dinner. And I thought, well, it's kind of like a late lunch to me. That's a late lunch. But I was talking to my other friend, and she said, well, that's really a Lenner. I said, what are you
lunch and
talking
dinner.
about? So you combined it.
I just have one of those moments where it's, I'm this years old when I figure something out.
Yeah?
I just figured out that brunch is breakfast and lunch
Come on, Kevin.
together. I mean, I know what brunch was, but I just thought it was a word they used to
For
describe.
brunch, yeah. Okay.
Now I just figured out it's the two words together.
You're lying, right?
I am not lying.
Oh, my
I am this years old when I figured that out. Brunch is breakfast and lunch.
and lunch combined.
Like Brenner is breakfast and dinner, or Lenner is lunch and dinner.
Well, there you go. It's a
Well,
revelation. there.
who knew this was an educational program?
It's like I heard trumpets and angels sing. Da-da-da-da-da.
Because it's about food.
I just figured that out.
Yeah. So I guess now you have a new word to add to your vocab, which is Lenner.
Which
So
is
the combination
3 o'clock
of your lunch
meal.
and dinner. Yeah, it's weird. It was to me that's a late lunch because I wouldn't eat dinner really not before 5. But I know some people eat at like 4.
Sure.
So I thought it was interesting. He needs a favor. That is Jelly Roll. Good morning. It's Jim, Deb, and Kevin. 95.5 WFMS.
You ever have one of those moments where you have an opportunity to do something and you pass it up and you think, oh, that was the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Should have done it. That happened to me this morning. And I don't tell this story to get a pat on the back. I tell this story that, we talk a lot about wanting to make this place a better world, be nicer to people.
Sure.
But we have every excuse why we shouldn't be nicer to people because it's dangerous. It's this, it's that. Don't have the time. Here's the story. This morning coming into work, it's I don't know, around 4 something in the morning, and I'm driving in. It's dark on the street that I'm on. And as I make a turn onto another dark street, there's a box truck, a U-Haul box truck sitting there. hazard lights are on. It's completely dark all around me. I go around the truck. The driver comes out. He's a young man, about the age of my sons-in-law, in his late 20s, early 30s. And he says...
You pulled over?
I pulled over, and he says, I rolled my window down, and he said, I'm out of gas. Can you help me? And I don't carry cash, and so my first action was, no, I don't have any cash, so sorry. And he said, okay, that's fine, thanks. I said, I can go call somebody for you. He said, no, that's okay. You have a good day. And he got back in his truck, and I got in, put the car in gear and drove off, and I thought, I didn't stop because I didn't want to help him because, I didn't have time and I wasn't safe. What if the guy has a gun?
Well,
Right.
yeah,
I mean, all
true.
these things play in my mind. And I thought, but if we talk about want to make this world a better place, we should take those moments. I'm not saying everybody should do this. Certainly wouldn't want Deb to. But anyway, in the back of my pickup truck, I had just put my gas can in there to fill up my gas from my tractor. So I had an empty gas can back there. I drove to a gas station, filled up the gas can, drove back. The guy's sitting there. Hazard lights are on, no one around him. And I just pulled up and jumped out and I said, hey, I got some gas for you. Keep the can. I got to get to work. Pay it forward sometime. He offered to pay me. He said, thanks so much. And I didn't see him again.
That was so
obviously.
nice of you, Kevin, but I'm over here going, I get it about making the world a better place, but it could also go on in a different direction.
Oh, absolutely.
And so I'm kind of mad at you for doing
And
that.
I had that moment where I'm talking to the guy and I'm out of the car and I'm thinking, okay, is this where I get carjacked? Is this where
Right.
I get robbed? Whatever. But then again, this is a guy that's just having a bad day.
But you didn't know that.
I didn't know that. And again, you're right. This wouldn't be right for everybody to do. But in this circumstances, I felt like I had that second chance. As I drove away, I felt bad.
Right.
For not helping him, and that's when I thought, you know what, I can help him. I can. I've got a gas can.
I
back
think
there.
that was
I can
very
help him out.
generous of you. And Kevin, it doesn't surprise me because that's
No,
the kind of person
that's-
Kevin
yeah,
is.
yeah.
But when you left the room a minute ago, I looked at Jim and I go, what was he thinking? You don't stop in the dark. I mean, it could have
Yeah.
been
But what if that was Corbin on the side of the road?
I understand
Jim?
that,
What if that was Hayden on the
I
side of the
know.
road, and no one helps him out because we're all afraid to.
But
put
we
ourselves.
are. That's,
I know, and every day there's shootings and carjackings and robberies and all that.
And sometimes I'm sitting there thinking,
But sometimes
what if they were just waiting for someone to pull over and do
Right.
something that they shouldn't be doing?
Right. So I don't know. I if I had a chance to do it again, would I do it again that way? I don't know. But in that moment, I felt like it was the right thing to do.
Good
What
spirited.
was it that made
And again, I don't say this to get a pat on the back. I just say this to think, how do we make this place a better place? How do we make
What-
this world a better world if we don't stop and help people when they
what
need
made
help?
you pull over? Just because you saw
Well, I had to slow down initially.
Yeah.
And he came out of his truck. He didn't rush up to me. He just and there's a guy standing there,
Right.
the age of your son, Jim. And why wouldn't I slow down and stop? And then he just said, and he was so polite when I said, I don't have cash. I can't help you. He goes, okay, that's okay, sir. Have a good day. And I thought,
that was nice
That
of you,
is
Kev.
very good. But you're right. It's like the scale. What do I do? Put yourself in danger?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Maybe the right thing would have been to go and find somebody. He didn't want me to call anybody for him. But maybe the better thing would have been to call somebody, call AAA for him. I don't know. But in this chance, I had the can and just told him to pay it forward. He offered to pay me, and I said no.
So you just brought the can out and said, keep it, and see you later.
Kevin's
Yeah.
also rescued a toddler walking in traffic. So,
Yeah.
I mean, you're like a
Hey,
hero
well,
to so
If
many
bad
people.
things are going down, I'm calling him.
I'm calling Kevin.
No, and again, honestly, I don't
No,
say this
no,
to get
no,
a pat on the back. I really don't. I just say
No,
that if we are going to make this place a better place, this world, this city of Indianapolis, this county of Marion County, this central Indiana area a better place, it maybe is just us doing
A
things
decent
like
human
things
being.
like that. Returning a grocery cart for somebody so they don't have to walk to the grocery cart corral. Or
Yeah.
I mean,
Little
there's a
things
lot of
like that.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, but
Yeah.
little dangerous. Maybe in the daytime next time,
Yeah,
Kevin.
absolutely.
95.5 WFMS, 7:38 on a Tuesday morning with Jim, Deb, and Kevin.
So if you remember, we talked last week that I had a little road trip that I was going on. And
Yeah.
Kevin was all worried because I was driving by myself a few hours away.
How do you keep yourself entertained?
I was fine.
Big
Yeah.
brothers do that. That's what
Yeah.
they do.
So driving back, I did a quick drive through the Chick-fil-A or whatever it was, and I ordered a chicken sandwich and a side and a lemonade. And there was a long line of cars. It would have been lunchtime for the people that were there, for,
Sure.
their work time or whatever. So I pulled up to the window. I hand her my debit card, which I always use debit. I don't really carry cash. And right as I'm about to hand it to her, I hear somebody walk up to the lady at the register and say, credit card machine is down. And I thought, great, because I just ordered. I've waited in a car of probably 9 deep, and now I'm not going to be able to get my meal. And so the girl at the register looked like she was fairly new. So she got a little flustered. And then the lady behind her, who looked a little bit older, maybe a manager, she was like, just manager meal it. And
what does that mean?
Manager meal?
Because I'm holding my debit. And she looks at me and I go, I've got a debit card. And she goes, okay, so, and she looks back at her employee and she goes, manager meal it. And I looked at the lady and I go, what does that mean? And she goes, it means it's on us. The manager pays for it.
Oh, okay.
And she hands me my bag and my drink and she says, you're good to go. And she looked at the girl and she said, anybody who has already ordered, but from here on out, we'll give them their meal. But
that'd
from
be
here
the
on
right
out,
thing to do.
we can't
Because
take
they're
orders.
making all the sandwiches and then suddenly
And you've waited.
you can't pay for
but
it.
I've never had that happen before.
Yeah.
I've actually been to a restaurant and I pulled up to the window and they said, we can't take your card, even though I'd ordered and waited in line. And they said, I'm sorry, we just can't. And that was it. So you just had to kind of go, you drive away going, are you serious?
Yeah.
But in this case, I thought,
That's good customer service.
good customer
Yeah,
service.
absolutely.
And I've never heard of a manager meal.
But again, that's a case where they probably made the sandwich. It was going to go to waste.
Right.
So they might as well give it to you.
And keep your
Right.
satisfied customer because
Right.
now
That's true.
I'll go back.
Absolutely. You know, you're going to be taken care of. in
I only
that
go
case.
back when the machine's not working.
Right. Can you let me know next time it's down because I'd like another manager
Yeah.
meal. It was free.
I never heard of that, though. All my years in the restaurant business, I've
Yeah.
heard of manager meal.
I was thinking, like, do I have to Venmo the guy or the girl or whatever?
Right.
Is that what a
IOU.
manager meal is? No, it's just.
I'm going to try that today. I'm just going to go to the drive-thru and say, and I want to manage your meal this. See if it works.
Yeah, give it a try.
Might find some rookie employee that might fall for that. I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's time for another round. I can't beat Deb. And a contestant on the line is Steve. Hi, Steve.
What's up, buddy?
What side of town you from?
Speedway.
You're a beautiful Speedway. That's
Speedway.
right.
I love that.
That is right. Beautiful Speedway. Well, here's how we play.
Steve, we're going to ask you 5 questions. We, of course, asked Deb those exact same 5 questions. Now, if you get more right than Deb, hey, you win, yay. But if she gets more right than you, or if she ties you, then she wins because the game is called Can't Beat Deb. And if you're ready, let's start with question number 1.
All right, here we go. Question number 1. The Tipton Pork Festival was held a few weeks ago. It's been one of Indiana's favorite festivals for over 50 years. Now, what was the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web?
Oh, my God. Omar.
Okay, question 2. A woman found a $6,000 wedding dress at a Goodwill for $25.
Wow.
Now, what is the traditional gift for a one-year wedding anniversary? Is it paper, cotton, or leather?
Paper.
Question 3. September is National Square Dancing Month. Now, what does it mean to do-si-do in square dancing?
What in the world? Oh. I know what it means when I do. I know what it means when I do-si-do.
Well, what does it mean then?
When you lock arms and go in a circle.
All right, question 4. 60% of dog owners say their dog has a better social life than they do. Now, what university has a dog named Blue 4 as their mascot?
Kentucky.
All right, and question 5. Jimmy Fallon turns 49 today. Now, as a child, Jimmy dreamed of one day becoming a priest, a professional baseball player, or school bus driver.
Professional baseball player.
All right, there's our 5 questions. We'll bring Deb back in the room and see how she does at 95.5 WFAMS. It's back to Can't Beat Deb. Deb is back in the studio here. And say hello to contestant Steve.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Hi, Deb.
Steve's
he
from
sounds friendly.
he's from beautiful Speedway.
Yeah.
Oh, well, hope he doesn't mind losing.
Here we go, Deb. Question 1.
Okay.
The Tipton Pork Festival was held a few weeks ago. It's been one of Indiana's favorite festivals for over 50 years. Now, what was the name of the pig in Charlotte's Web?
Oh, gee. Charlotte's Web. The pig was Wilbur.
That's correct. Steve guessed Omar, which I think might have been his middle name, but we were looking for the first name, so we didn't get the point. So it's Deb 1, Steve 0.
All right, question 2. A woman found a $6,000 wedding dress at Goodwill for $25.
Wow.
Now, what is the traditional gift for a one-year wedding anniversary? Is it paper, cotton, or leather?
I don't know the answer to this. I don't really pay attention to that stuff. I'll go with paper. Woo!
That's correct.
As a guess.
Steve knew that too. So everybody scores. It's Deb 2, Steve 1. By the way, it's paper for the first year, cotton for the second year, and leather for the third year.
Where's the gold?
So you know.
Yeah,
It comes much later.
Question 3. September is National Square Dancing Month. Now, what does it mean to do-si-do in square dancing?
Oh, I used to do this. You hook your arm with the other person, and then you circle around.
That's correct.
Woohoo!
And Steve knew that too. So everybody scores. It's Deb 3, Steve 2.
Question 4. 60% of dog owners say their dog has a better social life than they do. What university has a dog named Blue 4 as their mascot?
Duh. Butler University. How would I not
That's
know
correct.
that? I'm an alum.
Steve guessed Kentucky, so sadly he didn't get the point, but Deb does. So it's Deb 4, Steve 2.
You thought I'd get that wrong?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow. Thanks.
Question 5. Jimmy Fallon turns 49 today. Now, as a child, Jimmy dreamed of one day becoming a priest, professional baseball player, or school bus driver.
I mean, is priest right? That might be right. But then professional baseball player.
Might be wrong.
Yeah. Hey, now. Pipe down, peanut gallery. I'm going to go with professional baseball player. Oh, well, crap.
That's what
priest.
Steve guessed as well. Yes, it was priest was correct. So nobody scores. The score remains the same. Deb 4, Steve 2. Steve, we admitted these were tough questions, but you did a
Not for
great
everyone.
job, but not a good enough job to beat
Oh
Deb,
my
sadly.
God, not for everyone. Oh my God, do I have to?
Yep, you gotta
Yes,
say
you
it.
do.
My name is Steve from Speedway, and I did not beat Deb.
Well, if you'd like to be a contestant on Can't Beat Deb, you can just text us at 317-255-9367, and we'll get you signed up for Can't Beat Deb.
Yep, I'll text you back.
95.5 WFMS with Jim, Deb, and Kevin. Deb's got your daily dirt. And Coach Prime, Deion Sanders, says if you're lying, then you're not agreeing with him.
Yeah.
He says he's got some parenting opinions, and he says that if you don't agree with him, then you're just not being honest with yourself. We'll share what the story is in about 30 seconds. But first, Jennifer Garner, we all know, is a wonderful person, and she has recently been spotted out feeding the homeless. She does this with her kids.
Oh,
She
how
tries
nice.
to show them how to pay it forward, and she says it's really important for her to give back. She was spotted giving supplies to a homeless man in a wheelchair. She convinced the photographer who was taking the picture to give the man his shoes, and then she gave him a blanket, a shirt, some pants. So she's
Good for her.
finds that to be very important.
Very
I like
nice.
that. Mark Wahlberg says he's been working harder than ever, but he is hoping he doesn't disappoint fans by announcing that he plans to slow down soon. He's one of those that gets up at the crack of dawn, 4
And
a.m.
works out,
and
yeah.
goes to the gym and
I
lifts
see him in the
weights.
gym all the time.
I bet you do. Yeah. Jim, you're going to be excited. Speaking of Jim, Brett Eldridge is doing another Glow Christmas tour.
Is that right?
This is Jim's favorite show last year here locally.
Yeah.
It kicks off November 24th in Nashville and will wrap up on the 21st of December in St. Louis. But you can find out dates and details at bretteldridge.com. Martina McBride has also revealed that she's going to be doing a Joy of Christmas tour
That's good,
2023, which is Kevin's favorite.
I'd go see Martina.
Yeah, so she'll start things off in North Carolina and then end things in New Jersey. So, of course, Deion Sanders is always opinionated, not shy to share his opinions, and he says he ranks his kids. You know how kids will always say, do you have a favorite or am I your favorite? I mean, my boys will sometimes accuse me of having a favorite, and I don't have a favorite. I just have one that talks back less. So anyways, Coach Prime says that I'm the only one that's honest about ranking my kids. You parents act like you love them all the same, and you don't. He says, I don't know why you all say that, because I know you don't.
Yeah,
So-
I saw the interview. He said that his ranking changes, though.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, so it's like the kid took the trash out. Oh, you're number one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't have to ask you 5 times to empty the dishwasher. You're number 2.
He says
two of them playing.
Yeah,
two.
yeah.
And he says his daughter came up and gave him a big hug one morning and a kiss and said, I really appreciate you, Daddy. He goes, she might have gone up in the rankings.
There she's number 1.
Wow.
Right.
Oh, anyways, 827, that's Deb's Daily Dirt. It's sponsored by Mark Dietel Realty.